Welcome to another week of Metals, Money, and Markets Weekly with Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, and for Mining Clips, I'm Rob Goodman, and this is week ending March 17th, 2017, and that would be St. Patty's Day. And Mickey, probably a good day to be green because I've got a lot of green on my screen, and I know the big topic of the week was she did it. Yellen raised rates a quarter point. We probably expected it. Thoughts?
Well, old Yeller came in and raised rates, surprised nobody. We were well warned about that. And yeah, it's a green day. I'm sitting here wearing green and I'm going to drink some green beer. And I've been listening to Green Day and, and all the precious metals are green this week. In fact, in commodities, right across the board with one exception, it's green. Gold finished the week at 1228, up 2%. Silver 1735, more than 2% up. Platinum up more than 2% at 962, and a big winner. Palladium up 4% at 775, and copper had a very nice week at 268, up 3.4%. All these rises, with the exception of copper, which was up all week, happened when Yellen came out and raised rates, the dollar index fell, and commodities rose on that news.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if those hold their gains. On the energy side, oil, a pretty flat week relative, but uranium off a little bit here.
Yeah, so oil was unchanged. It's becoming very obvious that U.S. shale oil is going to be relentless in its recovery. The rig count's up 12 rigs this week. Oil futures, there's been massive long liquidations. Oil finished at 48.73, up 0.6%. One of the things you should notice is that Goldman Sachs is still bullish on oil. And to me, that means they have long positions that they need to liquidate.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. On the uranium side, off a little tick there.
Yeah, it was off, 13 cents on the week, finished at 25.50. We'll put in a little plug here at the PDAC in conjunction with miningclips.com. I did an interview on the supply-demand fundamentals of uranium with Uranium Energy Corp CEO Amir Adnani, and we should have that video out, I think, on Monday. Correct, Rob?
That is absolutely correct. A very nice piece, in fact, very informative.
I thought so. Very enjoyable. I have a great rapport with Amir. I've been a shareholder something like 6 or 7 years now and remain a committed shareholder to that company and to uranium space.
Shifting over to the real green money, dollar back-to-back weeks off, which means the euro and the loonie rallied against it.
Well, that's exactly right, and this all came with the Fed rate increase. Knocked the dollar down 1%, finished at 100.32, almost down a penny over the week. Euro, of course, rose about a concomitant amount. And the loonie was up for the first time in, 6 weeks. Finished just under 75 cents, up almost 1% over the week. And what we really noticed here is all the components of DXY, and that's a basket of 6 currencies, which include the loonie and the euro and the yen and the Swedish krona and Swiss franc, and I'm missing one right now. But anyway, they were all up against the dollar over the week.
Yeah, moving on to markets, everything was positive. Seemed like everything started to go when Yellen went for it, but Dow, not much to talk about. NASDAQ's knocking on an all-time high, was close today, I saw, and then the venture.
Well, before we get to the venture, let's talk about the S&P 500 too. So in U.S. markets, they were basically flat over the week. They were down until Yellen came on board with her announcement. Dow finished essentially flat, 20,915, 0.1% rise. S&P 500 still very close, just off its all-time high at 2378, 0.2% up over the week. And as you alluded to, NASDAQ once again just closed off its all-time high of 59.12, closed at 59.01, up 0.7% over the week.
Yeah, and the venture after 3 down weeks, 1.4% gain.
Well, finally, we had a pre-PDAC curse this year, which has been very hard to explain because volumes have not been high, so it did not look like the pros were selling off. But finally, we've had a slow recovery after PDAC, finished at 811, up almost 1.5%. But today was the second lowest volume of the year traded on the venture itself. Now, bear in mind it does not include the alternative markets in these volumes. Only 62 million shares traded. We'll see where the venture goes. I don't have a clear idea post PDAC, obviously. We'll just have to see where it goes. But, there's still a bounce in the step of most CEOs that are out there who, by this time, have probably raised their money for this year.
All right, Mickey. Well, you go ahead and enjoy that green beer and happy St. Patty's Day, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
All right, I'm sure you're going to do the same thing, Rob?